What's up, this is Chosen. This video is going to be talking about the Shadowkin faction crypt and why I think it could be coming soon to raid here on the faction map. It will change from hidden to coming soon really quickly here, which I think is important because a lot of you out there are on the quest to get Lydia. You might be close, and it might be time to kind of focus on making sure you're getting that finished, because when the Shadowkin faction launches live on the faction war map, it's probably going to increase the stars required down here to get Lydia and acquire Lydia the Death Siren. So that's what we're going to be talking about here. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so as all of you know by now, as it's been covered very extensively, and Ninja is somebody with a massive following, I'm sure you know that Ninja is going to be coming to the game very soon as a Shadowkin legendary champion, portrayed as obviously a ninja. Now, I believe this is a good marketing strategy for Plarium to do something fun to launch the Shadowkin faction on the Faction Wars map. So we're probably going to be seeing them officially do something cool revolving around like within the next week or two, when players finally actually start to acquire the portrayed champion of Ninja in the game. I bet they release some sort of video or huge announcement and actually add Shadowkin to the map and have it say coming soon. But I do also want to show you this announcement from back on June 25th, coming up on about a month ago, where they do say right here that we want to shed some light on our plans about the release of the Shadowkin faction crypt. We'll still be expanding this faction with new champions, which will be arriving throughout several updates. That's why the Shadowkin crypt will not open in the next few months at least. We'll let you know as soon as we come close to the release. Well, we'll let you know as soon as we come close to the release, I believe, is going to be coming up soon in the next week or two, because of this whole promo thing around Ninja's Shadowkin legendary champion. So basically, it's a good time to start focusing on building some of those good champions in the Shadowkin that you've got on your roster in preparation for when that is going to launch. And also, if you're more of an endgame player who's getting close to getting Lydia, you may want to start working hard this next month or so on making sure you're finishing those factions up and really prioritize that, because I'd hate to see somebody be super close to getting Lydia, like one faction away, and they just didn't prioritize it. They just didn't focus on it enough and start swapping gear and making stuff happen, manualing stages, and then all of a sudden Shadowkin is right around the corner and you don't quite get it finished. So definitely something to start focusing on if you're close, getting those factions done. And if you're not close, if you're a new player or a mid-game player, don't worry about it. It is what it is, and just enjoy Faction Wars casually, and you'll finish it when you finish it. And remember, there are different bosses with very different mechanics, and then there's very different waves on the way to the boss, different stages that are going to be like the triple Valkyrie wave is thought of as really, really hard because of all that shielding and counterattack that they're going to be doing, and being a super sturdy champion. So we don't know exactly how all the stages and the boss fight are going to shake out, but in terms of champions and in terms of a launch, the Shadowkin is probably way better than the Dwarves one. It's got more champions in it, and they've actually got some pretty solid options from legendaries to epics. The rares don't seem that great. I will get a dedicated discussion about this and give you my thoughts on all the champions and how they rank with each other and who you should think of building in Faction Wars when it gets closer to launch. But I'm thinking already the roster is way better than when the Dwarves launched. Dwarves was insanely hard to 3-star all of the content when they didn't have like Melga, who's an epic reviver now. They didn't have a lot of the options they have now. They've really filled out the Dwarves, but it was very tough when it first launched because it has that boss that ignores all defense. Dwarves are kind of a defensive faction, so if you didn't have like Maui, basically you were just really struggling. You had to do like some meme double rearguard sergeant type stuff, ally protection, and just like brute force it, get lucky RNG. But I don't think it's gonna be as bad with the Shadowkin. And I say some of that because like we had the fusion for Yoshi, and Yoshi's decent. Yeah, at least you got the awesome aura of 19% speed guaranteed, and then his kit's decent with the CC on the A1 and doing some different things here in the kit. He'll be an alright addition as a fusion champion to get people started. Some of these legendaries are pretty decent. Like I have Lady Kimmy, and she's been a fun one to build and play around with, brings a lot to the table, has a lot of different debuffs and buffs going on here that she can bring to the team. And then even some of the epics, like I know a lot of people have been talking about Taraji, going to be really good for boss fights. You can decrease the attack right there on the A1, super consistent. AoE provoke on a 3-turn cooldown, and then we've also got some shielding, some ally protection. So I think Taraji will be a really popular epic. Sashi is a good candidate for the stun set. You've got an AoE A1 that basically makes your team high resistance because you've got the permanent A1 AoE decrease accuracy. Could be fun in a stun set. So yeah, different options here. They do seem a little bit light on the revivers. Honestly, I don't even know if there is one. I don't know everyone's kit by heart, but I'm not remembering a reviver for the Shadowkin off the top of my head. Burunjiri, I don't think. I like the AoE Sun. I like the Strengthen. But yeah, I think so. They're a little bit similar to the dwarves. They're a little bit light on the revivers. It would have been maybe a good opportunity to have Ninja coming to the game as a really good support, but I'm sure they want like Ninja to be like a high damage scaling champion to really crank out the deeps for the Ninja promotion. So possibly an opportunity there when this faction gets closer to launching. They may do a fragment summon or a fusion event for a support champion for the Shadowkin that'll be super sought after by players when that faction is close to launching, to get that support, to have that revive in their team, because that's very important when it comes to like 3-star completing an entire faction. Is at least having that one revive makes it a lot easier. I did also really quickly want to mention, just in case you are going to start focusing on some of this faction war stuff, I do have this collab that I did with Cobra. I'll try to remember to link to it over there if you want to see the full context. What we did was we both ranked all the factions from hardest to easiest. We did it individually apart from each other, and then we got together, did a collab, and combined our 2 lists into one where we averaged out both of our opinions. And then this is the list that ended up being the average of our 2 opinions. So Night Rev, Dwarves, Skinwalkers, Demon Spawn, and Orcs, me and Colbrew thought were the 5 toughest from our experience. So just something fun I wanted to let you know about if you hadn't seen that video, but I will try to remember to link to it for you. But yeah, anyway, if you really held me down and forced me to give you a prediction, I would say within the next 2 weeks, we'll get some sort of teaser that gives us a date on exactly when we can expect Shadowkin to launch in game, and I would expect it to actually go live in game sometime in September. So the main focus I want you guys to take care of is here in the end of July and heading into August is really focus on getting those faction crypts done if you're close to getting Lydia. That's the main point I wanted to get there out there about this vid, because I do think some of this stuff is going to start coming pretty soon here because of how this whole marketing thing around Ninja is shaking up around the Shadowkin. It would just make sense for them to start hyping up the release of the faction and tell us when it's going to happen, and then have that be sometime soon, probably sometime in September. So anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments. I enjoy hearing your perspectives as well, and as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.